ladies and gentlemen. This is the Angel of Death, John Rare, happily retired. But I have to address something today. I've been noticing a lot of talk from some jackass fans who just don't know their facts. And you listen to one dumbass fan, another dumbass fan's going to listen to that dumbass fan, and before you know it, the whole story is just fucked up. And what I mean by this is, during my retirement, I've had some time to sit around, mess around on Facebook, read some people's little blogs, and read some of their comments, especially about the Angel of Death tournament. But someone, I'm not even going to put names out there, but someone said that I came straight from the backyard and debuted at Carnage Cup 7. And I can't tell you how much of that information is just wrong and fucked up. The truth is, yes, I did backyard wrestling from 2000 until roughly 2008, I believe, and maybe a little bit after that. But in 2006, me and one of the fellow wrestlers got our first training in for pro wrestling, and eventually in 2007 is whenever I debuted in professional wrestling. Now, I didn't go by the Angel of Death, John Rare. I simply just went by John Rare, or I was under a mask as multiple people, including Mad Jack, Vega, and El Vega. So, a lot of people say all of a sudden the Angel of Death just debuted straight from the backyard into professional wrestling, which was Carnage Cup 7. That is so fucking wrong, and y'all are fucking idiots. I can't help it. The fans, I swear to God, are getting stupider by the day. They make up their own stories that are completely false, and they just try to ruin somebody's reputation, and I don't give a shit. You know, I'm retired, I could care less, but people just keep talking so much trash that's false. I'm here to correct it. So 2007, the original place that I trained, yes, he was an idiot. Terry Teague got a hold of me, Talon, Big James Mayhem, and a few other ones were in our class. We went up to the Mud Tavern in Moulton, Alabama. It was up north, above Decatur, I know that. Can't remember the place. But that was the first place that I trained, was up there. And we were actually promised to do a match that night by Terry, and we didn't do that. We didn't even get our match. We trained, got the shit beat out of us, but we did not actually get to wrestle that night. Of course, we ended up not going back there. We didn't like it. We was lied to. But what we did do is we went back to the backyard again. And in January of 07, I believe, yes, I think it was 07 of January, we actually had Real TV come out, record us, got us a little bit of a popularity there. Then, Scott Adams, Bryce Adams, whatever you call him, from Fake Wrestling, started coming out to our backyard shows, scouting out the best talent that we had. And a few of us got onto his shows. We had training days with Will Owens. We also actually had a few scouting days with Joshua O'Hagan, a pretty well-named wrestler here in the South, especially Alabama. But my first professional show was the Fake Wrestling show, when me and my partner, I think he went by Sean Alexander at the time, or no, it was Sean Rare. He actually went by Sean Rare because I was John Rare. Me and him took on Phil Payne and Klepto at the Fake show. We won. because for years I never lost a tag match. That was one of my things. I was undefeated for many years in tag matches. Now, through this show, I got hooked up and known to Action Mike Jackson. So the next time he came to Jasper, which is where that show was at, he reached out to me and some of my backyard crew that was in training to be on his show. So we main evented his show for the Bama Alliance Championship, which that's on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's on my channel or not. It should be, but if it's not, it is on YouTube in general. I eventually won that by cheating, won the championship. The ref reversed the decision. There was no winner. So that set up for the Montevallo show from the Alliance, which Phil Payne ended up winning the championship. Now, throughout all this, I got to know Action Mike Jackson, Johnny Rage, and El Mexicano, which I wrestled with them from 2007 to roughly 2010. And within those 3 years, I did get onto a Kevin Brandon show, an IWA Deep South show, which was Southern Discomfort. I took on Phil Macchio, Cornerstone, and Dusty McWilliams. Now, all of these stories that I'm telling you are actually on my channel already. It's just people make up their own shit. So I'm just reclassifying what I've already said before. But if you scroll down on my channel, you'll see the story of Rare. And I'll show you the photos here so you can see it, make it really easy for you haters to look at my story and see some of the past. Now see, I got to get in there with Joe Hogan. I got to get in there with Action Mike Jackson, El Mexicano, and through some really cool and good shows, I got to get in there with WCW star Buff Bagwell. I got to get in there with Bull Buchanan twice, actually. And, he's a beast. I was supposed to have been in, I think, a Battle Royal one time with Bob Holly, but I think my work screwed me over there, so I ended up not being able to show for that show. And, not to get off track here, but my original job, was one of the reasons that I wasn't able to travel, because we worked Saturdays so fucking much back in the day. And, if I didn't have had that job, I think I could have really got out there and explored more than just the southern region of wrestling. And, I do regret it now, because I dedicated myself to a job that fucked me over in the end. But we're not here to talk about that. Kevin did get me on to a show called Southern Discomfort, where I wrestled those 3 gentlemen in a death match. And he ended up, really enjoying the match. So he booked me for Carnage Cup 7. That was me and Spider Boudreaux. Everybody knows that. The Saw death match. And some people really brought out the stories about this match. This is what pisses me off. Everyone was like, oh, John Rare and Spider were backyard buddies. That's why they got into that match. I never met Spider before that damn day, ever. And if you did your research, you would have known that Spider Boudreaux was around a long time before I ever was. But the fucking fans that hate the South so fucking much don't do any kind of research at all, and they just make up their own stories. Now, one fan who really pissed me off here lately went as far as commenting on my upbringing through my family. And fans have the right to talk about wrestling. They got the right to talk about shows, but don't bring up someone's fucking family. Y'all are just fucking marks out there. Do your thing and let wrestlers do theirs. You don't have to like me. Hell, hate me all you want. I'm retired. I don't give a fuck. Leave my family out of your fucking mouth. There's no reason for it. And if you hate someone so fucking much, and this guy was a Christian, he's talking about how God's going to judge me and how I'm going to be struck down and all this kind of shit. If you're really Christian and you're shooting out that kind of bullshit, then look in the mirror, you little bastard. And I know you're going to watch the video somehow, because I already blocked you because you're a fucking dick. But, sorry for the the language here. Whew. But like I was saying, so many rumors get started. Through 3 years at the beginning of my training, yes, I said I was, originally brought up by Terry Teague, a horrible fucking person. But then I got mixed in with a better crowd, with Action Mike Jackson, Johnny Rage, Joe Hogan, some really good, solid people that did professional wrestling all the time. Didn't do death matches. Hardly ever even did a hardcore match. I did wrestle Action Mike Jackson as Vega. And let me reiterate on this. A lot of people said that John Rare just all of a sudden popped up. I didn't pop. Yes, the Angel of Death character popped up, but for years I was under a fucking mask, either as El Vega, I think it was like El Star as well. I always did a Mexican gimmick and that got over. But Mad Jack, because yes, I've even brought up the story a long time ago that when I was in the backyard, I used the name Thumbtack Jack. And then whenever I found out there was a professional wrestler named Thumbtack Jack, I quit using it. That's called respect. And, people shit on so much information that they don't fucking know. They just sit there, make up their own stories. And that's the whole reason for this video, is if you've listened to these stories and if you've heard these stories and you want to know the real truth, just fucking ask me. Watch the documentary on my YouTube channel. It's called The Rare Truth, I believe, or The Story of Rare. There's 4 videos, technically 6, but 4 videos that's me and Talon, me and Shady Jane, me and Michael Frog Ray talking about my career. And I think that leads up all the way till like right after Carnage Cup 10. And so many people shit on me for winning Carnage Cup 10 too. And you know what? Fuck you. Just straight out. People never gave me a chance in professional wrestling. People think that I just popped up out of nowhere and didn't work for it. I was on the fucking scene for years and people just didn't know my name. For one, because I didn't use the Angel of Death moniker until Carnage Cup 7, when it was just kind of given to me and I went with it. For years, I traveled Alabama, Georgia, one time Mississippi, and obviously Tennessee. Never made it to Florida. But, I traveled these damn roads forever. I wrestled Phil Payne in what feels like 100 matches on the road. And the fact is, the whole thing about the person that said I debuted at Carnage Cup 7 right out of the backyard was complete bullshit. The person that said, my upbringing was, a horrible upbringing and that kind of shit. No, I was raised right. I'm one of the most well-mannered people you'll ever fucking see. And, the truth is, y'all see the character, the Angel of Death, and y'all know, you have a right not to like it. But you don't know me, the real me. So, get your story straight. And, honestly, fuck off. That's what I really want to say. And if you would stand right here in fucking front of me, I'd say the same damn thing. Fuck off. You don't know my story. And if you want to know my story, look it up and do research instead of just making up your own fucking story. I've got plenty of people that'll back me up when they say I started wrestling in 2007, not 2011. So do your research before you talk shit. I'm happily retired now, and that's where I'm going to stay. And I enjoy it. And one more thing right before I cut this shit off. Everybody that said that the Angel of Death show was full of backyard wrestlers, yet again, do your fucking research. One of the people, of all people, that said one of the guys was shit was just on your show a few weeks earlier, which drives me nuts. People talk so much shit, and it's okay, because I'm cool with it, but I'm just getting the story straight right now that some people just don't know shit.